Now, the other day, something happened that a lot of hip-hop fans have been waiting for a very long time. And it's regarding the Meek Mill and Drake beef. Yes, the beef is finally over. A couple days ago, Drake actually brought out Meek Mill in Boston on stage to perform the legendary Dreams and Nightmares intro, and let me just say that it was a beautiful moment. As you can see, fans in the venue were extremely excited, and Drake even called Meek one of his favorite rappers, and then after squashing the beef, they played ping pong with each other. This really looks like one of those situations where two homies have been away from each other for years. They finally reunite and they're both genuinely happy about it. But regarding the response of this happening, I've seen a lot of mixed opinions. Some people are on one side where they're saying things like, I can't believe they ended their beef after all that's happened. How come they're suddenly friends? I don't see how this makes any sense. And then on the other side, we have the people who are actually for Meek and Drake ending the beef because they think that it is a good thing for the hip hop culture. And when it comes to both of these comments and opinions, where do I personally stand? I 100% and completely stand with the second opinion because I couldn't be any happier seeing that they've set aside their differences despite what has happened in the past. I honestly don't see any valid reasons as to why they should be pinned against each other like they have in the past. Now obviously they wouldn't have been pinned against each other if they didn't beef from the get-go, but considering they've been rivals for the past 3 years ever since Meek tweeted this, in my opinion it's safe to say that this beef has no reason to really exist. I remember back in 2015 when this entire thing started, a lot of people were really set on Meek's career completely being ruined and buried, and that's what it looked like considering Back to Back created a huge negative impact on Meek's reputation. It was crazy how back then it feels like the majority of people were on Drake's side. That may have to do with the fact that he was and is still a way bigger artist than Meek, and regardless of Meek's public perception getting ruined by Drake himself, we all know that Drake himself suffered a crazy amount just due to the fact that he got exposed for the reference tracks, and just how people looked at Drake after that definitely changed. Fast forward to today though, I'm gonna have to say that that beef was necessary for hip hop because on the following year in 2016, I remember how Tyga and 21 Savage were beefing over Kylie Jenner. I remember how Joey Badass and Troy Ave were beefing over who sold the most as an independent rapper, and then that beef escalated to Troy Ave disrespecting Capital Steez, who unfortunately passed away from committing suicide in 2012, and then Young Thug and Future had a little subliminal back and forth on Twitter. Of course, there's no direct correlation between Drake and Meek Mill beefing and any of these other situations, but I really do think that it changed the playing field in hip hop and made it a little bit more competitive. But to give my final thoughts on their feud being over, I think it is a good thing for hip hop because we do need more unity in this culture at the moment, especially after the very unfortunate passing of Mac Miller. I really do think that unfortunate events like that have an impact on how both fans and artists approach different situations. And the fact that Drake and Meek can now put the past in the past and move forward is to me a beautiful thing. It is a very honorable move from both of them and I can't salute them enough. But let's move on to the next topic of this video, which is about Lil Xan, and specifically Lil Xan roasting Tupac fans on Instagram Live. Yes, this actually happened and I can't believe this man is still talking about it. It's literally been 6 months since the Tupac is boring comments, and here I am covering something he said about it once again. Now let's check out what he said and then I'll come back with the rest of my commentary.
Like dead ass, I did not do anything. After the Tupac shit, y'all literally acted like Tupac was your goddamn granddaddy. What the fuck? Like when I said that Tupac shit, y'all acted like you was sucking on that guy's dick or some shit. Like for real. He's a legend. I acknowledge that. He's a fucking legend. But what I said, what I said is what I said. They cut the interview.
Now as you can see, this is him pretty much just putting his foot down once again, telling the people I said what I said. And then as you could hear, he insulted and roasted Tupac fans and said that they were riding for Tupac way too hard. He specifically said, y'all acted like Tupac was your granddaddy. And then he also said that Tupac fans were acting like they were sucking his dick. Now what do I personally think about this? Well, it's very clear to me that Xan got affected by the backlash, not only on a reputation level because pretty much everyone hates him except for his fans, but but also on an emotional level. And honestly, I'm not even gonna blame him. I'm not here to completely bash Lil Xan and say that he's a disgrace to hip-hop, he's this, he's whack, he's that. This man has had enough. He's already gotten all the negative feedback one would never wish for, and I don't think it's even necessary for me to add on to that. But what I am gonna say is I don't like how he handled this. It seems like to me it was nothing but an emotional response, and in his position, he does not need any more irrational and uncalculated moves that's gonna bring him even more negative backlash. I know that he is in a tough position considering from what we've seen in the past regarding him being a slave to his management, and then of course the backlash from the Tupac comments, the constant hate he's getting from the hip-hop community, and then he said multiple times in the past that his mental health is not in check. I mean, there's a lot of things that he's going through, and he just seems like one of those people who hasn't taken the fame and the blessings that he has in the best way possible. Regardless of what I think about his music or anything that he's said in the past, I'm not gonna wish bad on him, and in fact, I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt to choose a better path in the future. And just don't be so emotional to the public about everything that's happening to you. And regarding that, let me just say this, and this is a very important point. If you ever see an artist who vents a lot on social media about their feelings, their problems, and their concerns about life in general, I can almost say this with 100% conviction. Those artists don't have people in their life they truly trust, and they don't have people in their life, or at least not a lot of people, who truly care about them on a genuine level. Because why else would you need to speak about your issues so much on the internet? If you have a lot of love surrounding you physically, going on social media for validation from strangers is the last thing you would ever think about doing. And it just seems like Lil Xan has been in that position for a while now. I don't want to focus on only what he said, but more importantly, I want to focus on the underlying reason as to why he said it, because that's where the real truth comes out. Now, that's of course my personal opinion on both of these situations, but what do you personally have to say about this? When it comes to the Drake and Meek Mill beef ending, do you think that it is a good thing or a bad thing? And then regarding the Lil Xan situation, what do you think about what he said? And would you say that there's an underlying reason as to why Lil Xan is going on social media and constantly venting about his life and venting about things that are bothering him? Definitely let me know in the comment section below, and let's have a discussion about this.